Hey, Andy here from buildahottub.com. In this video, we're going to take a look at what we can learn from the holiday pool. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so this video is going to be slightly different as I don't have any of my kit with me. I'm not in my office, I've not got my green screen, and I'm recording it from my cell phone. So if the sound isn't as good as the other videos, I do apologise, but I am somewhat on vacation, but I still wanted to put the content out there for you. So this is the holiday pool behind me here. So I'm in a rental villa for a couple of weeks, which is very nice. There are a few things that we can learn from the holiday pool, and we can incorporate these into the designs of our plunge pools in our backyard. So I wanted to walk through some of those features that I think you might find interesting. Now, before I do, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up, because I'm even making this video when I'm supposedly on vacation, because I want to make sure that there's plenty of new content out on the channel for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the features of the pool. So one of the first things that you'll notice is the design is actually very similar to many of the designs I actually have in my online store, and I will give you a link underneath this video so you can find them. So the pool itself is tiled, beautiful sunny morning here, as you can see it reflecting off the pool here, and we have this sort of formed coping edge. Now, as with quite a few things that are done in Spain, nothing against the Spanish, love the people, but the build quality isn't that great. So you can see here that it's not actually perfectly smooth, there's chips out of the render, and if I kind of zoom in, the coping itself could have done with a kind of a sponge finish just to finish that off really nicely. Okay, but it is quite a simple way of creating a pool. Now, one of the first things that I would say is on the steps. The steps look pretty cool with the edging that's slightly darker. However, again, the tiles haven't been put on perfectly, and there are some sharp edges, and my son actually managed to cut his feet on one. So I would say, do take your time when you are doing the tiling, just to make sure that you get nice and smooth edges, and you obviously don't want anything sharp in there. Unfortunately, in this particular pool, there is. Now, the plumbing layout is pretty straightforward. We've got two returns. I don't know if you can see, there's one sort of over here on the video, and there's another one down here. And those returns are just pointing straight forward, and down the bottom of the deep end here, we have a suction drain, and there we have the skimmer. So it's quite a simple layout, and it's a layout that I use on my designs as well. And as I said, I'll put a link to those underneath the video. One of the things I really don't like about this pool is the fact that it goes deep way too quick. So there isn't really a shallow end. Now, I'm not the tallest of chaps, and certainly with the children playing in it, there isn't enough of a shallow end to, as you can see, we've got all the usual holiday fun over there, but there isn't enough of a shallow end to actually use it. So when you're designing your own DIY plunge pools, have a think about how you are going to use it, whether you want a shallow end that then drops to a deep end, whether you want a consistent level all the way across. But this one, it just goes too deep too quick. So there's literally about, I would say, 3 meters of shallow end where I can actually stand up. I'm 5'8.5", that half is all important, but I would definitely extend that a bit further forward if I was going to have designed this myself, just so that there was an area to stand. You have a drink in, you can play with the toys in. It's just a better way of doing things. So that's one of the things I would definitely change on this particular pool, is the kind of contour and how it goes from quite shallow to very deep very quickly. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the control room. Now, this particular pool, whilst it looks like it's in ground, it's actually above ground. And if I sort of come over here, you'll be able to see that we can sort of take a look over the edge of the balcony there. And you can see that there's quite a big drop to the control room, which is down there. So let's go ahead and take a look in the control room and what we can learn from in there. So here we are entering the control room. and we've got the usual storage area, and the pump is running, so you can see it's actually quite noisy in here, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me okay over the pump. So we've got a regular setup. We've got a sand filter that you can see here. We've got it's actually a self-priming pump, which isn't required in this scenario because we're a good 8-10 feet below the waterline. And you've got your diverter valve there to be able to clean the sand filter. Inward suction, we've got 2 lines. One is from the floor drain and one is from the skimmer. And if we sort of go up the wall there, you can actually see that the skimmer sits in the ceiling in this particular room, and you can see that how it was created. We've got those concrete slabs that are coming across, and that's where the patio actually sits. So it's quite a cool construction, but it's quite simple and effective at the same time. So here we've got the back of the skimmer, and we've also got the skimmer that's connected to the inward suction. The back of the skimmer is an overflow. So if the pool gets too much water in, it will just overflow out the wall there and into the wasteland that's on the other side of that wall. You can also see down the bottom here that we actually have a water top-up feature, and this is connected to the water lines over here. Now, these particular connections and electric valves that you see, this is a timer system for the watering for this particular villa, so it's nothing to do with the pool. However, this inward line here is a water top-up. I don't think it's working because they're actually using a hose pipe to top it up, and I always think a hose pipe's a lot easier than using an actual physical line like this. There's a timer on there as well, so you can kind of set it and forget it, but I wouldn't really recommend putting one of these in. The fact that this one isn't working says quite a lot, I think. I think you know it's easier to actually top up using a hose pipe than it is using an actual plumbed in line. So what can we learn? Well, the plumbing is pretty straightforward. This particular pump, it seems to be running a lot more than it's actually needed. So with a regular pool, domestic pool, you should turn over the water every 6 hours, whereas this pump seems to be running pretty much 24/7. I'm not sure if that's a design fault or not, but you don't need to have the pump running 24/7. It does only need to run every kind of 6 hours or so that it turns over the water, and that's all of the water passing through the filter. And in this case, as you can see over there, if I kind of point to it, that's the sand filter for the pool. So, pretty straightforward, pretty effective, not a bad design, but it's certainly something that I think you can improve on. And with that, I'd say thank you for the watch. I appreciate the view, as always. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next video. If you've liked this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next video.